Hello everyone, welcome back to my latest Graphic 45 brand ambassador project. Now, unfortunately, 2024 didn't start off too well for me. And the project I was going to make for you this month was a soft spine folio, a large 8¼ by 8¼ folio. So I've been working on some dimensions and I've actually made two samples which I've almost completed. Just need to add some finishing touches. You see, make a splash and life's a bowl of cherries. But as I said, 2024 didn't start off too well and I ended up breaking my thumb. And so I'm finally out of my cast, but I haven't got strength in my thumb yet. It's still not healed. I still have issues with moving my thumb and pressing on it, which has meant making the album on camera would have been a bit tricky. But I didn't want it to leave you without a project this month, so I thought I'd do a nice simple what can I do with straight lines card. So hopefully this filler project will keep you happy for a little bit longer until I can show you how to do. So don't panic, it is on the way. See, I've actually even prepped the cover. You can see it's all 3D mounted. Just before I broke my thumb, I'd actually completed all the elements, all the measurements, even the adjustments from the second one. So it is ready to go. It's just at the moment, physically cannot do it. But hopefully, as I said, you will like this. So this is a faux iris card. So the iris, like the iris of a camera, when you turn off on your camera, it opens up. This is a faux one, so you get that look, but it doesn't actually move. So it's a nice simple one, which is what I need at the moment. So this was made using Letters to Santa, but I am going to use Let's Get Artsy because that is what I was going to use for my folio. So I thought, whilst I've got it all out, I will do that. So I've got my Graphic 45 5x7 card blanks. Let's get one of these out. And an envelope. And what I've got is a 12x12 sheet of the patterns and solids. And I've got one of the 8x8 main pack as well. So I've looked for something really busy to go underneath, which will then contrast with the plainer pink then from your patterns and solids. You can see where this red is, that's where the pink is going to show. And these parts are going to be this paper. So let's have a go. So it's a 5x7 card. So I'm going to start off by simply scoring my Graphic 45 cards blank in half. Because these do not come with score lines, which is handy because you can make gatefolds, turn them the other way, make Z folds because you're adding your score lines where you want them to be. So for this card, nice and simple in half. There we go. I've got my 5x7 card blank that can be set aside. And now I'm going to start with my patterns and solids. And I'm going to cut this just 1/4 inch shorter. So my 5-inch cardstock will then have a 4 3/4 mat. I need to open it up. And it's 7 inches tall, which means I go back to 6 3/4. And I can set that aside. Now these bits, this bit's longer. I'm going to cut 1/8 inch strips down. So there's my 16th, there's my 8th. So I'm just going to cut. They're nice, thin strips. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm just going to check. Depending on where you put your diamond, you do need one really long piece down the bottom. So that is too short. So I'm going to bring back my pattern saws. I'm going to cut a nice long one from this. And because I cut this at 4 3/4, you know, I've got more than 6 inches left. What have I got? A 7-inch piece tall. So it's really useful for my albums or more cards there. So I got thin strips there. And now I'm going to cut my paper. And I'm going to cut this now. So 5 inches was my card. My base was 4 3/4. So I'm going to go down another 1/4 inch to 4 1/2. Then I'm going to rotate it. So 7 comes down to 6 1/2. So that will give me my outline. And I also need, which I've already pre-cut, a 2 3/4 inch square. Now normally I'd be throwing those bits away thinking they were scraps, so I've got to be careful. I've got my card base here, not my card base, my pattern paper base. I'm just going to bring my scoreboard in. And this is an optional part, but I'm going to score 2 1/4 here. I'm not squeezing hard, I'm just running it down. And then I'm going to squeeze here a little bit. That is my central point. Now you won't be able to see it there. You might be able to see it on the back. Is the camera picking it up? Because I've scored it so lightly. Or what you can do is grab your ruler, grab the T1, which isn't quite as easy, and I can mark 2 1/4 inches with my pencil. That'll help me to line up my points down the middle. And in fact, we can actually do that now. So I'm just going to use some wet glue. Not too much because I don't want it leaking out. And I've used my wet glue so that I can actually move it around. So there's my pencil line. And there's my pencil line. Oh, I've lost my pencil. There we are. There we go. And you know, it depends where you want to put it, up and down. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my longest one. And I'm just going to attach glue or run some glue down this strip. I'm going to start on the corner to the right. I'm going to line up the edge of the strip with the edge of my card and just let it fall. So if you have a look closer, see the edge of the cardstock, the white cardstock and the edge of the strip are there. And then I'm just going to carry on anti-clockwise. We can go clockwise. I don't think the direction matters, because what I'm going to do is now line up to that corner. Line up this corner. And then the final one. Now with my Letters to Santa, and I'll show you in a second, I did actually ink the edges of my strips and my cardstock in the middle, my square, just to give it a more vintage look. But with this one, with the black, I haven't And I can turn it over and trim off the excess. And that is your faux iris, which looks kind of like you've used patchwork pieces to put it all together, but you haven't. And of course you can go the other direction instead and have your strips going that way. And if you wanted to use two different patterned papers, so if you've got two non-directional papers, make sure that you use the directional one as the base. What you can do, if this wasn't pink, because I lose the iris, you can actually stick that corner into there. So just apply the glue all over that bit, stick it down, so tuck it into that corner, turn it around, trim it off, and then cut off that excess piece. You would be able to fit a piece in there as well. So if this wasn't pink, if I'd used maybe the red or the blue, I could have probably done that. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And now I'm going to stick this base onto my mat. And then glue my mat onto my card base. So that then is the technique finished, and it's just a case then of building your image up. Now, fussy cutting for me right now is out. So what I have got are the ephemera pieces. So these then, all these images already pre-cut for me. So we've got some leaves, some flowers, which I could make up. But we also have the dove. We have some, let's have some butterflies. We've got some flowers. Could simply put the word dream across. But these two pieces are actually cut from one of the 8x8 image sheets, which would be nice just to go in the middle. I can cut straight pieces, which I'm thankful for. So we could build up an image. We do have these nice large images, but I thought that's just too busy with the background paper and too big. We can have a generic looking one. We could start building up a floral arrangement in the middle. But what you want is to be able to see those 4 strips. Otherwise, why have you done it if you're going to cover it up? So let's see, what shall we go with? Great joy, is that too much pink? Oh, we have got another flower we can just put in there with Create Joy and just bring in, we've got a smaller butterfly. Yes, we've got loads of butterflies. So let's go for some of the smaller ones. I would bring some white in, which would be nice. But I think I quite like the shape of these ones. So are we going to go for that one? Or are we going to go for... I think that one does go quite nice. Is the Create Joy just a bit too big, maybe? Is there another one? Express Yourself. No, do you know what? I think I'm going to go with the Create Joy. It does tie in all the pinks. So let's stick some of the ephemera pieces down. So these really do make cards quick to make. For those who don't like fussy cutting, I think they're the way to go. And I'm going to just put some glue down the body. Let's have some of the white showing. And then I think we'll use some 3D foam there. So let's just, I've got some black foam tape here. Whilst I'm working on the black cardstock. And so there we go. A really nice simple base for your cards, which can then be decorated. So it means you can use it for any occasion. It's not occasion specific. And would definitely work for any of your graphic 45 papers, utilising the ephemera pieces, some patterns and solids, and just one sheet of the 8x8. But as I said, I've got this piece left over if you wanted to add extra bits. But also a little bit of interest with some 3D foam. You can see on that one as well. So two totally different looking cards, but made using the same technique. So thank you for watching and for joining me again on my brand ambassador journey. And hopefully it won't be too long until I'll be able to share that album with you too. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.